this corruption. Your own company, Deputy President, colludes to sell coal to Eskom at inflated prices. Now the question is, what kind of medicine is needed to cure ANC? To cure ANC with its leadership? You can laugh, but you can hear what I'm saying. The ANC need medicines to be cured. Start with number one, because there is no political will at all. Or we need prayers in this country. Thank you.
The Honorable Deputy President.
Madam Speaker, earlier I spoke about the problem of corruption. And we are not unique. Many countries, many institutions are having to deal with corruption all over the world. And if we recall, in this very country, if we cast our eyes back, corruption was rife. And it was corruption that was also underpinned by an apartheid system. But we never got to hear about it. It was hidden. It was hidden under the edifice of apartheid. Today, yes, we do get to hear about corruption, which is good, which shows that transparency is increasing. It is coming out now more and more in the open. Our media is much more vigorous, and it is a good sign and process. And at the same time, the ruling party has actually decided that it is going to deal with corruption as one of the key ills that beset our country. Now, mechanisms are being put in place, some are already in operation, and indeed, some will continue to be in operation. If members of this House have further suggestions on how this can be dealt with, let them put them on the table. We are open to any suggestion, but we have put in place mechanisms that are currently dealing with a spate of corruption. And we are determined to rid our country of corruption. Whether you like it or not, we will do it. Thank you very much.
We now come to question raised by the Honorable Shibambu. Question number 18. The Honorable, the Deputy President.
Madam Speaker and honorable members, like many other countries, our economy currently faces headwinds. It faces difficult challenges that are contributing to low economic growth. We are not the only country in the world that is facing economic woes. Right across the country, including a country like China, which was growing at high rates of growth. So we are not alone. Let us remember, we are not alone. There are many other countries that are facing economic challenges. And some of our challenges are domestic. We have a large skills deficit as a result of our past. We have systemic unemployment. We have low levels of domestic savings. We do have energy constraints, as we all know, and low levels of fixed and investment, and there are also labor relations issues. On the other hand, there are quite a number of external challenges that we face, like many other countries, and these include a plunge in commodity prices. We are essentially a mineral-based economy, and the commodities that we eke out of our soil are facing great difficulties. Lower demand from China and other emerging economies, and rising interest rates in some of the developed economies like the United States. We are determined to address these challenges so that we can accelerate economic growth and achieve the goals that we set for ourselves in the National Development Plan. In addition, the 9-point plan that was announced by President Jacob Zuma in his State of the Nation address is specifically designed to address these challenges. This has been this government's response to the economic headwinds that we are facing. This government is committed to a mixed economy that facilitates and enhances the participation of both the public and the private sectors. As we note in the National Development Plan, South Africa requires both a capable and a developmental state able to act to redress historical inequities and to have a vibrant and thriving private sector which is going to work alongside with the public sector. The NDP recognizes the need for sustained state participation in the economy, not in opposition to, but in partnership with the private sector like it happens in many other countries. The state is already making significant contribution and investment in our economy. It is currently investing large amounts in infrastructure, in energy, in transport systems, and in building dams and houses. Government promotes economic transformation also by promoting and supporting small, medium businesses, and the government has implemented several measures to attract both foreign and domestic investment. We have been successful, often in partnership with state-owned enterprises, particularly in the form of developmental finance institutions like the IDC and the DBSA. And government also intervenes to deal with challenges of specific sectors in our economy. A recent example is how we have dealt with the steel industry that is facing headwinds. This government is committed to addressing the real impediments to growth in our economy. And as we manage this economy, we're creating a balance between what the state can do on its own and what the state can do in partnership with the private sector. And with that, we continue to seek this balance, and we are confident that as we implement the 9-point plan, our economic woes will be a thing of the past as our economy continues to grow. Now, 2020 is the year that we have set up for ourselves to have an economy, Honorable Shivambo, that will be growing at 5%. And this is not the time to think of abandoning the NDP, not at all. It is an overarching plan of our people, of our country, and we should be able, and in fact, I am convinced that we will be able to reach that 5% growth by 2030. Thank you very much.
Honorable Shibambu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Just quickly, earlier on, the Chief Whip of the Democratic Alliance said that the Deputy President wants to be President. Well, according to the Premier League, such is not going to happen. He's not going to be President of anything. Because the next President is going to be female. Now, the question is, your NDP's backbone is that there must be capitalist expansion by 5% at least in the next 14 years or 15 years. And all indications in the global economy domestically are such that there will never be any such expansion. Whatever you can do, you can only wish.